the mic pick that up for me?
We'll see now. It's time to talk about some spooky stuff. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 290. By the way, we're starting 292 of Opinions May Vary. I am your host, JR, and my co-host with me, Alex.
Hello.
Hey, man.
Hey.
I told him we were starting. I didn't tell him. Joining us this week is my new best friend, Ricky.
Hey.
My former best friend, Kyle.
Oh, hi.
And my also new best friend, Joe.
Oh, hello.
Hey, gay everyone. I've taken to just calling all guests, all the guests are my new best friend now. So, hey, new best friends.
Want to go for ice cream?
No. So, we're talking about some spooky... We're back on the spooky grind, you know? We're embracing that rise and grind, et cetera, all of that, and spookiness. Because it's not spooky month without Kyle joining us, as we know.
It happens.
This is what, 3 years?
Yeah, it's the third. Yeah,
3 years.
And still never been here by myself.
You can turn that turns.
Turn
And you've never done an episode on your own.
No,
You brought Justin.
I brought Justin. I brought
Noah.
I brought Noah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
this is
this your fourth.
This is your
This is your
fourth.
Yeah,
fourth.
there's the other one.
Yeah,
and
that
then,
other one that I brought. That one.
Yep.
Justin's was not a spooky episode.
Yeah, that was just kind of.
He happens to be in the area,
Okay.
and he was a bunch of fun.
He was a bunch of fun. He actually just got in touch with me about how to use a spiderweb gun. Yeah. He's doing spooky stuff down in the Carolinas
gun?
these days.
Is that like a web shooter?
It's like a hot glue gun with a fan.
Okay.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So it's not a web shooter. My interest is fading.
It'll hurt.
I mean, if you feel like carrying around a backpack when you're trying to jump up from wall to wall.
Let's be real.
So you can't sling swings from it. But
Then what's the point?
You can make the room look like there's spiders in it.
I guess that's cool.
Yeah. You just kind of aim and shoot. It's like let's see.
I had the web shooters that
It's
just
like
had silly string.
Right. Think of silly string, but it's not quite that.
Right.
Yeah.
Those also had an attachment for water. I know what you're
Huh?
talking about.
Right? Yeah. It's like I get to be Spider-Man with these enormous cans of silly string strapped to my arm, and they last for about 30 seconds. Then I'm out.
But if you aim them the wrong way, they just don't spray strings.
Yeah, it was awful, but I felt like I was Spider-Man.
Fun fact: the silly string has a lot of alcohol in it, so it's flammable.
Ooh,
so
great.
you hold those up to and they become just
Flamethrowers.
flamethrower web.
So then you're pyro.
No, you're pyro.
Yes, shoot flames from your wrist, kids.
No, you're not pyro. You can't control the flame with your mutant powers.
You can't conjure it. You just control it.
No, he can't conjure it.
That's what I said.
Well, he can't conjure either.
That's why he has those little bitch things on his wrist.
Right.
What a god.
Little bitch wrist.
Right?
Well, he can turn like a match into a phoenix or
Right,
a fire monster.
But if there's no match,
he's useless. Yeah.
what an idiot. He sucks.
I'm glad he died by the legacy virus.
Right? Stupid. Pyro. Idiot. So spooky
Comic
stuff.
books.
What are we talking about?
I'm gonna thank Kyle for making this happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. We are knee deep into October. It's actually getting to the end of October, so I know it's
We're trudging through the
very
spoop.
difficult.
There's a lot of spoop to trudge through, and it's
Especially
getting
get
spoopy.
3 people all associated with the spoop in one room late at night on a Monday. By the way, it's Monday for those listening. We're not even going to address it.
No,
We're not going to address it.
No, it's fine.
No,
It's
we're not
fine.
going to call attention
No,
to it.
It's okay. I did thank you earlier in the month, our first episode of our spooky, because we had the guys from Evidence of Evil on, Bobby and Dave.
Good friends of mine.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have met them unless it was through you.
Yeah.
And so we had a fun episode.
They were a lot of fun, and they have really cool ideas. And I was like, yo, Kyle, that's what's up. I'm in a very good mood.
Dave said they want to move on and make a flying haunt.
A flying haunt.
And yeah, that's like one of their cool. They're thinking of like new and improved, better stuff.
See, that's the one thing that you will never get me to go in an airplane, let alone.
Well,
respect.
what I didn't
Respect.
get to say on the episode because we kept moving on and we were brainstorming a lot of great topics that night, and I never got to come out with Dirigihaunt,
The what?
a dirigible haunted attraction.
The Archer episode.
Dirigihaunt, Dirigihaunt Oasis.
When they're and he thinks it's filled with, like, the oxygen is flammable or whatever it is.
Yeah, the humanity.
Yeah.
The Huge Manatee?
That's one of the
The
few
huge
episodes.
manatee.
Have you seen that? That's one of, like, the original memes. Oh, the huge manatee.
The Huge Manatee. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
yeah.
So, anyways,
And so, one of the days I went to Kyle's shop at Decimated Designs to go help out, and
Right.
Kyle was like, "This is Ricky," and Ricky was on Face Off.
I was.
which
Which-
you used to like, you and Brett would like,
I watched season 1,
right?
and then I got disenchanted with it because I entered like the fan contest, the Facebook fan contest, and so I told this story just the other day at my job.
I haven't heard this.
It's dumb and
Okay,
stupid.
good.
But
Petty.
it's super petty. It's like the most petty. They had like a dumb like fan contest where it's like
It's dumb.
the prize was like a $5,000 makeup kit.
Yeah.
Like a super nice makeup kit. And it was like you could do face makeup. Here's your 5 options to do. Do like a human animal hybrid, do an alien, do a aged makeup, do a gender switch, or animal, alien, old, gender. There was a 5th one. I forgot what it was already.
Mutant.
Oh, zombie. It was a zombie.
That was close.
Of
course.
That was close.
Classic.
And they were like, and the stipulations were like, it can't be digitally modified, it can't be photoshopped. You need like 3 angles and take this many pictures and then like a before picture and all that. And so like, I designed face and I figured something out. And, like I had a friend over to sit there while I do his makeup, and I had a friend come over and take pictures for it and everything. And I submitted, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'll give it a shot. And then the grand prize winner was a person who won the year's previous world body paint competition in Australia. And then the runner-up was someone whose face was in Makeup Magazine 3 years before that.
Nice.
Classic.
So it's not like no one. So the winners didn't make it specifically for the contest. They just dug into the portfolio and go, "Yeah, this matches the qualifications. I'll just send that bullshit in."
Well, I mean, season 1, it's the amateur competition. It's all these people who are, maybe they're students, all this kind of stuff. And the season 1 winner designed the Daft Punk masks before he went on.
Get the fuck out of here.
So
Are
I
you
mean, like,
serious?
yeah,
Daft Punk was a thing back then.
yeah.
They've been a thing for a lot longer than you might
Yeah.
expect.
Definitely before Face Off. Face Off isn't really that old. How old
It's
is it?
9 seasons. They
Yeah.
just finished number 9,
Uh,
and they're switching formats. I think.
No. They're on like season 12.
Oh, 12?
Yeah, but it's what I think like 2 seasons a year at this point. They do.
Well, they did the weird seasons. They did the one where they had all the old the winners come back.
Yeah,
and then
they-
they had the one
yeah.
with the judges that came, or was that just one episode? Where the judges came into
the judge match was just 1 episode. But they did have All Stars, but that was a full season.
What
Yeah.
what season were you on?
Season 9.
9.
That's why I thought 9.
Season 9. Yeah, no, that was like 3 years ago. Time flies.
Now, Face Off for the I know like kind of what it is. Not having cable like myself for many years. I haven't seen Face Off because I'm a piece of shit. And for the people like
You are a
me,
piece of shit.
right? What's
No,
what's
you're not.
Face-
You're not a piece of
Because
shit.
every week Brett would start, and he nods. The guys, he is. Every week Brett would start talking about Face Off, and every single time I see the words Face Off, I think Nicolas Cage.
Yep.
And I get really excited because I think we're talking about one of my favorite Nicolas Cage movies. And then we're not talking about Nicolas Cage
With the
movies.
electric shoes, that was your favorite part?
They were magnetic,
the
Kyle?
magnetic-
Jesus.
Yeah, but electromagnetism, it's the same thing, all right?
He's Castor Troy.
He didn't Pikachu his shoes. He Magnetoned his shoes.
Oh, God. So Face Off is it's on Sci-Fi, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Sci-Fi Network.
Yes. It is.
Oh, do you had such a good lead up. I thought it was yours.
Right. I don't. Well, it's a competition.
It's a makeup competition.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
It's the only makeup artists in the world who do effects paint and makeup come from that show. I don't know if you guys know that.
That makes sense.
If you do effects
Face
stuff and
Off
you haven't been on
breeds
Face
them.
Off, you don't exist.
Right.
Pretty
Oh,
much.
okay.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
My favorite is, I work for Gateway's Haunted Playhouse, and I run the makeup department for that. So I'll be doing makeup on people that don't know me. And inevitably, like a weekend, they'll always be like, hey, so you know that show Face Off? And I just kind of just keep doing their makeup, and I'm just like staring at them, smiling, like, you should think about maybe like, I don't know, auditioning for Face Off? I don't know, I think you might have something there. Maybe
think
get your
about
name
it.
out there a little bit. And I'll just say, yeah, it sounds like a cool idea, but I don't know if it's for me. And I'll just like leave people hanging on it forever until somebody's like, yo, bro, he's on season 9. What'd you tell me, man? I don't know. Didn't feel like it.
So it's a special effects makeup like competition where like people are eliminated weekly, right?
Every episode,
Every
typically.
right.
Typically,
Yep.
there's little wild card episodes where they don't do that.
Right.
Those are always pretty fun.
It's almost like Survivor, but for people that have talent.
Ooh, okay,
Got
so
him.
one of my good friends, Josh Canfield, was on Survivor, and he's very talented. I love you, Josh.
At surviving, I imagine.
He did survive, and
Okay.
he's still alive to this day.
He won. He beat the Survivor.
That I actually don't know. I never won. Sorry, Josh. My bad.
Well, as long as he survived.
Yeah, he's kicking.
So
My new favorite is whenever, because I teach a lot of classes this time of year, and so I go to a lot of libraries, young kids, that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, you should do Face Off. Have you done Face Off? Have you seen that show? Whatever. And I go, no, I'll do you one better. I hire the people who were on Face Off.
Oh, there you go.
I'm their boss. That's my new get around the card.
well played.
Yeah, move that microphone away from your mouth.
I've always found there to be like a difference in that the words being chosen were be like, yeah, so and so's coming to help me out. And there's a difference between like they're helping me versus like they're working for me. That's always been like my like the line is drawn, you know.
The line is drawn in the sand there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just what.
I have to play.
Maybe
boss
Ricky
these
helps
days.
you out sometimes.
Ricky absolutely helps me out a lot, but I also have paid him to come up and do things for me.
Okay.
So
I never finished those things. I've never finished any project that I've worked on with Kyle.
Well, no, because then I'd have to give you pictures and it'd go in your portfolio and be really helpful for your career, that kind of thing. You know,
We're not in the
maybe I
business of
guess
that.
we can help you out with that sometime.
We're not in the business of helping out kids with portfolios around here. You come in, lickety split, do the work, get on out, go back home, get back to Long Island, kid.
No, all the people who have helped me. This has been a weird year
Yeah.
where all of a sudden we've gotten huge projects. I've had to hire in a lot of people for certain specific things. We're going to get our first full-time employee soon,
Ooh.
and just using the right verbiage, hired in
Okay.
versus work with me.
Okay.
It's starting to transition because all of a sudden, you know, it's not, hey, I work with a bunch of people, and then
Right.
somebody says, oh, well, can you give me one of them so that they can work with me? No, it's they work for me, so that people are coming to me for this business, and it's sort of like this tree that's branching out and becoming a bigger thing. So,
You know what I just had recently? A guy from a nearby haunt tried to poach one of my artists.
Oh,
we had a nearby haunt try to poach some of our actors.
Hmm.
Yeah.
no respect.
There's no respect. We have a rule. Any actors that have ever been at another haunt, we check with the other haunt before we bring them in, let them volunteer,
classy.
hire them.
Yeah.
Every single one. 9 times out of 10,
Yeah.
they were fired from the other haunt. And there's
Right.
a very good reason.
Well, that's one of the, that's like you're doing a little background check.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, you know, you're just showing some respect.
Oh, absolutely.
If I were to ever like there's a couple friends nearby who have their own podcast. And if I were ever to like ask one of their regular guests on to this one, I'd want to check with them first. And be like, "Hey, I'm interested in having on so and so. Would you mind?" And that kind of thing. Just, you know,
Don't step on toes.
like, and like, even though like person X is their own person who
Right.
does their own stuff, like I just would want to make sure I'm not stealing from their product. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Now, at the same time, we've had plenty of people who've gone, well, I have a bad relationship with them. They rubbed me the wrong way. They did this, they did that, and I'd like to get a fresh start. That's fine. We're still going to check with them, and in those kinds of cases, we usually hear the same thing. Like, just, yeah, they're cool. It's fine.
That's good to hear.
When it comes to a haunt person getting fired, there's always a special little story to that.
It takes a lot.
Yeah,
it takes quite a bit.
That's a special case right there if you're getting
Eating
fired from a haunted house.
2 or 3 tubs of Nutella 45 minutes before opening.
Oh.
Well, when you have a scene that's, a bathroom scene,
Okay.
and you have to have some sort of shock value. Nutella seems to be the best shock value.
All right.
You can wipe it on people. You can wipe it on the walls.
Because it really
shove
looks
in your
like
face.
poop.
It really, really looks like
And
poop.
it's delicious, so you can
eat
it.
Right.
Or
It's a
a,
bit nutty.
Oh,
bit,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes, it
And
is.
so Nutella's kind of expensive in larger quantities. And
Okay.
so
I could imagine.
we gave a girl 2 jars. One jar.
The big jar.
We gave her the big jar. And she went into her scene about an hour before we started. And then by the time we started, she goes, "Wait, so do you have more Nutella?" What do you mean? She goes, "Oh, I ate all of that. That's gone."
how did she?
How?
Did she go into like diabetic shock? Like, did she get diabetes?
We didn't. I don't
Did
think we
she
kept
even
her
have any
around.
toast to put it on, or?
No, just
God,
like
it's
scooping
so-
with her hands.
Oh my
and
god!
Wowzers.
I can eat
Going
like
in.
a spoon of Nutella before
I can
I'm
think of like, oh, was she supposed to go decorate with it?
I can like dip a toe in Nutella, and that's
There
it.
wasn't like a morsel anywhere in the bathroom.
oh my god!
Imagine the kind of person like we have actors of all shapes, sizes.
You know,
everything.
if you let her scare for a while and like really work it up, maybe there would have
She
been
might-
on the
yeah.
walls and
It
you
could
know.
be. Yeah, it could be. Don't shake your head.
I'm out.
Kyle's ashamed.
Kyle
he has a
tapped.
look of shame.
So, anyways, face off. Because we've only heard there was another reality show that Sci-Fi created, and we
It wasn't. I don't think it was a sci-fi.
wasn't that Sci-Fi? I thought it was.
I think it was a
Sci-Fi.
different channel.
Which one?
Google machines to go.
Steampunked.
Oh, that I don't know. I thought you were
Yeah.
going to bring up the cosplay one.
Nah.
I think that one cosplay.
Oh,
Melee,
yeah,
or-
Game
Yeah.
Show Network. I'm a piece of shit.
No, you're not. He's not.
I'm sorry.
Our good friend Brett Kelly has had artwork in the background of that show.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because he did a bunch of art for a steampunk show that's going to be in Springfield, Massachusetts, at the Quadrangle. There's like a collection of 4 museums that are right next to each other, and so for one of those, Bruce Rosenbaum, who's like a big steampunk guy in the area, lives out in Eastern Mass, near Boston, I guess. He put together like this museum showing and had a bunch of artists bring in their like steampunk stuff, and like. For Bruce's own things, Brett had done these kind of murals kind of pieces, and those also went into the show because like Bruce bought them from him essentially. So like there's certain scenes where like you could see Brett's designs in the background while competitors are standing still sometimes, and judges are doing judgy things.
That's 90% of reality television. It's especially with like wide shots and everything.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to tell people about. They're like, "Oh, so how nerve-wracking is it to be on the reveal stage?" And it's a little nerve-wracking at first. You're standing out there, the judges are looking at your stuff, and then comes the wide shot.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have to do it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Like completely all over again. This is where things get hilarious. Because the wide shot, the judges have to completely repeat what they did.
Right.
But like faster.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll walk around. If anybody's ever watched Face Off, you'll see the judges kind of like walking around the makeup, examining it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll be circling it. And just going, so I definitely poked that guy right there, and then I said something about his foot. I don't really know. And then you walked that way. Oh, here I'm gonna go this way now. I really liked that. I thought. And then, like, so they're just like talking about what they're doing the whole time. It's great.
And so like if your arm's at your side for one point, it has to be you're still at your side for the next take. And
I mean, they don't really get into it that much.
Okay.
They definitely had to redo some things with me. Because one of my favorite things was standing dead center middle staring at Mackenzie.
Okay.
And I would try to make her laugh. And I succeeded a lot.
nice.
So there was one, I don't remember exactly what reveal it was, but it was like the challenge reveal. So it was at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And we were dead tired. So they did the reveal and we're all like, wow, Like, all right, guys, so we're gonna have to redo that, but just look a little bit more excited. So I wish you guys could see me right now. So I was like a little irritated at that, and I was like, okay, all right, sure, I'll do that. So they do the reveal, and I just go, wow, and I just do this whole thing with my body, and I like tilt my head to the side.
There's a real solid head tilt in there. Yeah.
And but it gets better. So they're like, all right, so we're gonna do this again. We didn't get something right, and it had nothing to do with us. And we redid that take at least 4 times, but every time we did it, I would tilt my head further to the right, and it got to the point where my whole body was tilting to the side, and Mackenzie busted out laughing. And the director, Jason, had to specifically call me out, and he goes, Ricky, you need to tone it down, buddy. And I was like, oh, it's just really pumped, man. I just keep getting more and more excited. He's like, all right, calm down. So we would do that stuff a lot. I played a couple of pranks, actually, on Mackenzie and Mr. Westmore. The way we kind of frame some of the things, and once again, if anybody's ever seen it, Mackenzie and Mr. Westmore will walk up to your station while you're working and kind of ask about what you're doing, give you a couple little critiques. Now, the way that they frame that is Mackenzie and Mr. Westmore will obviously be off camera, and it's not like all set up, like what they're saying is genuine.
Okay.
But it's just the way that they shoot the shot.
Yeah.
So they'll stand there for a second, and then they'll walk into the frame. So, in one of them, on my season, Nora Hewitt, she was the winner of season 9 of Face Off, and she actually went to school with me, and me and her were good friends. And she was at the table next to me, so I'm looking at her. I'm just staring at her while Mackenzie and Mr. Westmore are there, and I'm like slowly getting up. So they don't see what I'm doing, and the camera guys are looking at me like, what is this prick about to do? So they go, okay, and go, and I walked up next to them, like I just walked with them, but I did it so smooth that they didn't realize that I was there. And Nora's just like trying to play it cool, and neither of them have noticed, and they don't stop the shot because they're like, what is he about to do? Let's just let it go. So Mr. Westmore goes, oh, hi, Nora. And Mackenzie goes, hey, Nora. I go, hey, Nora. And Mr. Westmore just turns and just gives me this look like, what the just get out of here. Get out of here. He's laughing. So I go back to my spot. And after that, he had this mission to try to scare me, which doesn't work because Mr. Westmore he's a very tall, large man, and he doesn't sneak up very well.
Okay.
And this is one of those moments where if there was a camera, it would be perfect because I don't even know how to describe the movements he would do, but I would see him coming.
You mean like a Scooby-Doo creep or something?
Yes, exactly. Like that. He's got his big paws up in the air, like up to his face, and he's kind of just like lurking towards you. And I'll see him, and I'll just turn around and be like, gotcha. And he'll just be like, whoa. Like, give me that finger, not the finger.
Right, yeah, the point.
Gives me the finger and walks away.
I'll get you. He never got me, unfortunately.
So, do you guys get comfortable with them?
We did, actually, yeah.
Because one of the things that, from the beginning and even, throughout a season, it would seem like these are pillars of industry.
And they are.
And, at what point do you feel comfortable enough to start, pulling pranks with them and, even joking around near them? It's like, I'm trying to think of, an equivalent. Imagine...
It's definitely, it's weird. But it's also my way. If I'm uncomfortable, I get very jokey.
Okay.
And I get very jovial. So if I'm uncomfortable around somebody, that's my way of just breaking that barrier down.
Jared, can you imagine trying to crack jokes with Greg Capullo?
No. No. Nope.
He's the guy that's been drawing Batman for 3 years.
Very
now.
serious guy too. He doesn't fuck around.
I'd have a field day with that one.
He's a little bit scary.
Mildly terrifying.
Kyle's still shaking his head. So when
That's my go-to.
when we were at Steampunk World's Fair last year, there was a whole panel about steampunk, and I believe there were 5 contestants on the panel.
I don't even know.
I think it was 5 contestants and one of the judges, and so they were all hearing stuff for the first time. So this guy Tom Williford was one of the judges, and he was like, "Yeah, I had an earbud and I was mic'd the whole time." So production is telling him what to say. And he'd be like, I'm not saying that. But, none of the contestants are hearing him. Yep. So he's just talking to himself half the time.
Yeah. No, we would see a little bit of that.
Yeah. And even then, like the judges wouldn't see like everything that's happening, but production would, and then they just wouldn't tell judges some of the things.
They would
and
relay on certain information.
Right. But a lot of like what was going on was like some of the contestants just like started not enjoying the show anymore, just because the way it was being run and like what they were getting put through. And
unfortunately, that's the way it is with a lot of reality television.
Yeah,
it's like a weird mental box. Like we swore it was some sort of psyche experiment. Like it definitely gets strange.
Yeah,
you get sequestered from the real world for about 2 months. You're not allowed to have a cell phone, television, just about anything. No contact with the outside world. It gets very strange, and you start feeling a little wacky.
I was explaining that between what you had told me before when we were hanging out in at Decimated, and like from what I saw from this panel of like one of the guys, he was like, "Oh, I snuck my DS into I would hide it under the sink in the in the bathroom."
It's like prison rules, man.
They would come and like do room inspections to make sure you didn't have anything.
Yeah, we had maids. There's air quotes happening.
Yeah,
that would come and clean our clothes. In reality, they were just going through our stuff. Because
so normal maids.
They weren't. Yeah. You know what? I stand corrected. They were just doing their job.
And so some of them were from the steampunk guys and women. What they were being told to make and what they were making like wasn't what steampunk was supposed to be. Ooh. And it just got really weird. And if one's a fashion designer, like, go build this room, and she's like, all right, I'll do my best, but I'm a fashion designer. And then the next week is like, all right, now build another room, and she's like, okay,
but I'm still a fashion designer.
Now design this car, and it's like, that's I'll do what I can. And at one point, they had said in the panel, they were like, half of us wanted to quit. We just didn't want to be on the show anymore. And then all the lawyers came in and talked to us that we had to keep doing the show or else.
You know what's really funny about this whole story is I've actually heard it, because the house that we stayed in was the house that Steampunk stayed in.
Yeah.
And the house manager / handler was theirs as well.
Uh-huh.
And he was telling us a lot about some of the stuff that went down with that season and stuff like that. So it actually kind of cracks me up that you're saying that. I was like trying to remember before. I was like, was it steampunked? Was it steampunked? It definitely was.
I think I remember them mentioning that at the panel too, that it was the same house as Face Off.
Yeah, it's a nice house.
Yeah.
It really is. There's a hot tub, a temperature control pool that they don't want to pay for the temperature control on. And the hot tub's really nice for a little while because the temperature control is also broken on that. So it'll just gradually keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And then you got to flip over into the pool because you're turning into soup.
Right. If you get too high, your muscles turn off.
Yeah. Well, there was some moments in that hot tub where it was like, not like that, but it's more on the soupy side where it's like, all right, I think I might be food. Like, I think I might be edible at this point. I gotta get out.
I am cooked.
I am completely cooked.
I recently learned from the internet, amazing, your fingers get wrinkly so that you can grip stuff easier underwater.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
That's the reason they get wrinkly?
Yeah.
Like, biologically speaking, somewhere.
Yeah.
So the longer
It's
you're
for
in
foraging.
water that you're wet, you can grip stuff easier because it's a different surface area.
I don't believe you.
You
I
want to
think
hear
it's-
interesting thing about raccoon hands?
Yes,
You
All
know
right.
why raccoon hands are so handsy? They're always touching things, always
Yeah.
doing weird stuff with their
Right.
hands.
because they think they're people.
That too. They actually have so much more sensory and feeling in their hands that it's basically like a blind person. So that's why you'll see, I mean, once you can't see me, but like they'll have their heads tilted back and they'll be reaching their paws into stuff, touching it.
Okay.
And they're actually feeling out the shape and figuring out what something is. And it's because they're scavengers and they forage constantly.
Right.
So they could basically figure out what something is just by touching it.
I learned something.
You're welcome.
Tooth somethings, hopefully. If you
learning.
didn't believe my story,
I'm going to check that when I get home.
okay, that's all right.
That's gonna necessitate a Wikipedia entry.
Hey, that's what the internet's for. Is for learning. That's the only reason. That's what it's
If
for.
anybody wants to see videos of raccoons constantly, add me on Snapchat. My name on Snapchat is Ricky Vitus. My home is infested with raccoons.
Ooh.
Fun fact.
Well, there you go.
Bring in some skunks, and they'll get rid of the raccoons.
That sounds like a great idea. Nothing could go wrong.
That's what the town of Salem did. The town of Salem had a raccoon problem, and so they brought in skunks because they will fight. Yep.
That sounds awesome.
And
Well,
they
the raccoons fight each other constantly, so they're taking care of that.
They sound horrible when they
It's
do that.
horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying.
I watched a cat take down a raccoon the other day.
Really?
Yeah, that was fun. That was really cool. The noises were
Insane.
even more insane.
There's a subreddit called, well, there's a really popular subreddit called Nature is Lit. And it's all like, oh, hell, look at how neat all this stuff is in nature. Look at this nice looking butterfly, or like this neat thing in nature. And then there's a subreddit called Nature is Metal, which is
Yes.
animals slaughtering each other. And like it's I have to try to like, it's one of those subreddits like you can't stop scrolling, but everything you pass is more and more horrifying. Like birds eating a penguin alive, from the, like, from the inside out. It's
Nice.
horrifying.
Squirrels are omnivores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
There was a picture of a squirrel like eating a chipmunk.
Shit. Yeah. I saw a
That's
picture. I saw a
awesome.
video of a.
Does it have like
that's-
the blood dripping?
That's metal.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
saw-
like it's like the head's open, it's brains.
That's
That's-
horrifying.
I saw a video
I
of
love it.
a hummingbird, or a woodpecker, just violently bashing its beak into the skull, like into the head of another bird, like an infant bird in a nest, and it just like flies up and just starts like obliterating it. And like, it's horrifying.
Nature.
Raccoon fun
Yeah.
fact
Metal.
number 2.
Yeah.
Adult male raccoons will eat the babies of other raccoons
Yep.
constantly, all the time.
Yep.
It's the circle of life.
Yep.
Haven't we seen The Lion King? Right?
We don't need to go there. We don't need to talk about that. That's a wound. It's the only
Kyle's
movie
given up.
that's ever
Done.
made me cry.
When I get nervous, I put out animal facts.
Don't be nervous. We're friends. We're all friends here.
Best
I also
friends.
do it when I'm happy.
You're Jared's new best friend.
It's
so.
true. It's
Aw.
true. So, what else are we talking about?
Raccoons.
Face Off sounded fun. Was it like overall? Like, do you like the experience? Do you look back on it and you're like, that was worth it? Like,
It was pretty cool. I would honestly do it again.
Mhm.
It's one of those things where if you could imagine like your hobby or whatever, and just being like, oh man, I would love to just have a room full of all this stuff that I like all the time that I don't have the money for. That's what Face Off is. So I would walk around with a 5-gallon bucket and just knock stuff off of shelves into a 5-gallon bucket. Be like, I might use this. I don't know if I'm gonna, but I might as well see if I could.
Was there like a really weird material you came across? You were like, oh, you have that?
Yes, a bulk roll of dental dam.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
if people don't know what dental dams are, let me give you some learning.
It's a mondom.
yeah, exactly.
It's a mouth condom.
It is a mouth condom.
Yeah.
It's for oral play in the vagina region. But also, this is the thing though. If you feel like you need to have a dental dam, I don't know how descriptive I could get here, but I'm gonna try to be a little PG about this very not PG subject. But if you gotta have a dental dam on a girl like that, step away. Step away.
Can I just ask, like,
Yes.
did you see that and immediately think of a fruit roll up?
No, I thought of bat wings.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So juicy
I'm with you.
wasn't the first thing.
Juicy.
oh,
Yo, them dental dams are juicy.
Wait, so did you have a plan to use it? Like, what?
I never actually ended up using it, but my buddy Evan Hedges actually used it for Demon Wings, which was
Ooh.
pretty cool.
That sounds cool.
It came out really nice. And also, I wish I knew offhand what episode this was, because it's one of my favorite makeups of all time.
Yeah.
Just based solely on concept. Actually, I do know what episode it was. It was the 100th episode of Face Off.
Oh, okay.
Where all the crew got 100th episode swag and none of us did.
Oh.
Ricky's not bitter. So the 100th episode was a wedding thing. So we were making couples wedding attire and makeup and whatnot based on videos that we saw of them talking about their interests. I worked with Jordan Patton, and we were in Top Looks for all of it was Tim Burton inspired.
Okay.
And then you had to take their interests and kind of make it into something like that. And we ended up doing like these Tim Burton-esque like pop art zombies.
Okay.
And that was pretty cool. But my favorite makeup was Evan Hedges' makeup. I guess the couple was obsessed with pugs. So he made a pug demon. that had a little tiny hat. And I kind of want a tattoo of it, to be honest with you. The judges hated it, and I don't know why. It was one of the most amazing things. It had the worst look on its face too. Like it just stank eye. Like it didn't like anything it was looking at, man. I loved it so much.
If you like pugs and there's any interest whatsoever in steampunk stuff, there's at least 2 sources, if not more, for steampunk stuff.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Steampunk.
I know local friend Joey Marsacci, your Dr. Grimm, has like a line. He had a pug for a while, and he like took steampunk pictures.
That's great.
Yeah.
Overall, as far as like the judges go, because like when I watch reality shows, like I am guilty of watching a lot of the first season of Ink Master back when I had cable, and it felt like, because I don't know anything about it, I don't know what constitutes a good tattoo and a bad tattoo. I look at it and I go, that looks cool,
Can
or
you say
that looks
tattoo
bad.
one more time?
Tattoo.
Tattoo.
Me and my tattoos.
I got a couple damn tattoos.
Like, did you feel like the judges were consistent in their judging? For like, or was it like
Let me answer that question for you. The judges were very consistent in their judging.
with the judging?
With the judging.
Like, it wasn't like, wow, they were in a bad mood and they hated me today. Like, I made gold and they said I made shit. Like, because there were sometimes like when I see these reality shows, I'm like, I like that one and my favorite, and now they're going home because apparently it sucked. Like, do you feel like in their assessments, in their judging, was it like, yeah, that was legit?
Well, if you watch my elimination episode, I will.
It was bullshit, right?
Such bullshit. That makeup was amazing. No, they were very accurate. Oh man, yeah. If you want to laugh, watch episode. I don't remember which. Season 9 of Face Off, Ricky's elimination episode. By far, best episode of Face Off ever.
Well, I usually find like if I've done a bad makeup, I know it.
Oh yeah, and my whole thing with that episode was I knew I was gonna go home from the beginning.
Oh yeah.
It was one of those things where it was like, if somebody doesn't do worse than I do, then I'm gonna go home.
Was it the topic or the materials or?
It was a Shakespearean challenge, which was like interesting,
Right.
And we had to create these characters from Shakespeare, and it was also a gender swap challenge, which
Double whammy.
Double whammy.
Okay.
Yeah, it was something. So I'm terrible at beauty makeup, and I'm terrible at drag makeup.
Right.
I'm just not my forte.
I'm with
so
you.
I was like, all right, so yeah, if somebody doesn't suck worse, this is it for me. So Mackenzie's like, but wait, guys, there's another twist.
Oh boy.
Just to make things easier for you.
Wait, was this twist like at the beginning or
yeah,
like?
this was at the beginning.
Okay,
Yeah, this
it
was
wasn't
like,
8 hours in. to
no,
a 10-hour makeup.
no. This was at the beginning. She's like, to make it a little bit easier for you guys, because not all of you are drag and beauty oriented. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly what she said. Obviously, we're gonna give you some characters like some people from the underworld and old hags and things like that.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I think I got a chance. And they had them on these neat little scrolls. And they're like, all right, Ricky, you're up. I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm gonna
If
go
I don't
a
get
scroll.
panned, I'm just gonna quit right now.
I was like, yo, I'm gonna get like somebody from the underworld. I'm gonna get like a witch or something. This is
Mercutio.
dope. This is gonna be lit. So I unrolled the scroll and I got Ophelia.
Oh man.
From Hamlet. And for
Just one.
those of you who are unaware,
Which one's that? Is that the mom?
no, Ophelia is a 14-year-old girl,
Oh.
and my model was a very handsome, very chiseled Australian man.
Obviously.
So he was also like 6 feet tall or plus, right?
Yes, very much so. And it was kind of one of those things where I was like, all right, I'm just going to have a lot of fun today. Like, this is just going to be a fun couple of days. So, given that I knew I was going to go home, I was just, like, living it, you know what I mean? So I met up with, I believe his name was Jordan. Yeah, Jordan. I don't know what that weird Latin speak was for a second. But, so it comes to like the actual makeup day, and I he sits down in the chair. I'm like, hey, it's great to meet you. So things are going to be a little weird, but just play around with me. You know what I mean? Just kind of, I'm definitely gonna go home, but we're gonna have a good time going home. And he's like, no, don't say that. And I'm like, no, but for real though.
I've accepted my fate.
Just you watch, son. And he's like, all right, well then we're gonna have the best day. And we did. It was so much fun. It's a good day.
Do the models get shorted on the episodes? Because they never look like the models have a personality, because
the models
just a canvas
are
that sit
amazing, and I really, really wish that the models were more involved in the show as far as like the editing.
Mm-hmm.
I became really good friends with a lot of the models on there. They're hilarious, genuine, just great characters just in themselves. I haven't actually watched much of the new seasons because I don't really have time to watch a lot of television. But I've heard that they give the models a lot more attention now, which is really cool to me.
That is cool.
Yeah, they're hilarious.
When did they bring in Doug Jones to talk to him about character work? Because I believe
Pop quiz. I don't know anything about
I
face-off. So I
I do remember at one point, like, it was because Doug Jones was post about it.
yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
it's like, I was brought in Face Off to like talk to models about about character work and
Yeah, no, I remember him being in a couple episodes. Spoiler alert, I've seen part of season 7, part of season 9, almost all of season 1. I basically just watch a couple episodes here and there when I know my friends are on it.
Right.
But I've never actually completely watched a season.
Neither have I. It's okay.
Yeah.
So being that it's like 12 seasons on,
Yeah.
if you watch their seasons, the further in they get, the more out there they get with what they're trying to do. So they had the All-Star season. There was one season where they said, all right, every single episode, we're going to bring in a celebrity.
Okay.
And that was the one where they brought in Doug Jones.
All
I
right.
think that was the same one where they had like Tim Burton come on for an episode. And they had Ron Perlman. And they just like every episode was a different celebrity with a judge and all that kind of stuff.
I feel like Doug Jones has been on a couple of times though, at
Probably.
this
Well,
point.
He's amazing.
He could already tell the artist what to do.
Very nice guy.
He seems it.
Yeah, very genuine guy.
One of the early seasons, they brought in a bunch of DC comic book artists to be like, you're going to design a comic book makeup. And one girl was like, I'm going to make Glass Person. And I'm at home like, how the hell are you going to, get out of here. Because it was just like putting shards on them somehow. It's like, none of that's going to hold up.
Wow.
But like, they hovered on each like comic book artist for like 2 seconds. And I think David Finch was in there. And I don't think Jim Lee was there. But like, they were all like names in the comic world. Which like, I would easily pay a lot. My room is full of sketches right now. Most of them cost a lot of money.
Oh, is that what these
I would easily have dumped any money on any of those artists that they had on the show, but like they got 2 seconds of airtime. And it was kind of unfortunate.
Classic.
Anyway.
When they had Greg Capullo on as a guest artist for Ink Master.
Yeah.
Yep, because I saw one season of Ink Master.
Did you learn anything new on the show? Or like any new materials that were foreign to you, or did you have an idea of what most of it was?
I actually used Warbler for the first time on the show. I had known about it, but I had never actually purchased it or used it. If you know what Warbler is. Warbler is it basically looks like a giant tortilla chip.
I have
okay.
what do I have? I have a couple of sheets of Foss shape.
Yeah, it's very much like Foss shape, except it's more solid.
Okay.
So you can make like armor out of it. You can make basically like I made hoof hands out of it at one
Any
point. That was
cosplayer that's
pretty
listening
cool.
right now will know what Warbler is.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, 100%. They're like, Ricky, you could probably say a lot more about it, but I don't know terrible much about it. I've made horns and stuff out of it. It's a really neat material.
As long as you don't burn yourself.
I do that all the time. Like 90% of any of the scars on my arm is me burning myself with just about everything all the time.
When Kyle invited me to IMAX New York a while ago,
A couple years ago.
and Kyle was really intent on checking out the face-off panels, and one of the questions that Kyle asked was about new materials that they have discovered and whatever like that, and Kyle came away with the knowledge that Prozade is latex based.
What?
Oh yeah, there is some latex
Yeah?
in Prozade. I don't now. I'm still checking into that because I think there's a bunch of
I
different
don't
formulas.
know about that one.
This is what I was told on the face-off panel. Is that
What is Prozaid?
Prozaid is a medical adhesive. I'm going to pass that on to Kyle because he seemed really ready. He was like puffing his shirt up for it. He cleared his throat.
this. You guys step back. Let me do this.
So you know,
All right, everybody. Here is Kyle with the facts on Prozaid.
Hit me.
You got everything. It's a medical adhesive.
okay, so JR, you know what spirit gum is.
Yes.
It's a much better spirit
I
gum.
always refused because I didn't want anything sticking in my face.
Kyle hates spirit gum.
It's good
I hate
for
spirit
laying hair.
See, that's the
You
thing.
hate spirit.
I also hate laying hair.
Yeah.
I also hate hair.
Respect.
Yeah.
Respect. Just looks like pubes. Great, I have pubes all over my face. I'm so happy right now. Love life. JR's 1 year and a hot.
Live, love, pube on the face.
But it was about the material they would use that was a good adhesive that wasn't Prozaid is what you came away with.
Oh,
Was that story?
Yeah, we've got I don't remember.
Put him on the
years
spot.
ago. Yeah, put me on the spot now.
I thought you were taking notes that day.
I was, and they're somewhere sitting in my shop.
The notes are gone.
Notes are gone. It was a couple years. No, there's a couple different new adhesives out.
Okay.
Some silicone adhesives were just coming out. The new one that I really want to try, I don't know if you've tried this yet, Ricky, is Snappy G.
Oh, yeah. I haven't tried it. Sorry, excuse me. Oh, yeah.
It's not haunt season. We didn't chug energy drinks before we came on.
None of us are tired as
And,
well.
It's absolutely not that time
And
of year.
I just want to talk about how I'm completely unaffected by these energy drinks. I've reached a threshold in my life and day where energy drinks don't really do much but make me pee.
Respect.
That's why I try to limit myself. Yeah. Because I imagine it's going to do a job on me.
This is doing one
Especially
on me.
when I'm when I'm down one part that most people have, then I'll just, I'll do what I can to cut back. But
The kidney? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
The kidney thing.
I've only got one of those.
You
Everyone
can
else has
only
two.
filter so much. How's the oh, yep. I was just gonna go straight to haunt.
Go for it.
Like, how's the haunt life going these days? We're actually we're almost at like 47 minutes, and I want to talk about spooky.
Talk about spoopy.
Yeah, like how's
Spooky things.
So between us, we've got, 3 haunts going on?
well, there's 3 of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm including Alex in that. I'm including Alex.
Yeah.
Because I always, the first thing, whenever I see Alex, which I did today, is I come in, what's up with your haunt? What's up with your haunt? Hey, Ricky, welcome to Decimated Designs. Welcome back. How's your haunt? How's your haunt going? What's going on? What's going on? What's new? What are you doing? I want to hear everything. I love hearing about haunted houses. I love going to haunted houses, and I love all the background stuff because haunted houses
That's
are
what
these.
it's about.
It's
It's all about the background and production of it. That's all I'm in it for.
There's this awesome thing where life gets condensed down into 1 month, and all of the crazy things that have happened in a normal person's lifetime, those all happen. All the crazy nonsense happens in this 1 month. And literally, I showed up to the shop. Ricky and Joe were already there. I sat lunch down, and I said, all right, tell me the tale.
And I
And
looked
oh
at
man,
Kyle,
it did not disappoint.
I looked at Kyle and I said, "Give me a minute. I gotta eat this food. I haven't eaten a solid meal since yesterday mid
He
afternoon."
goes, I got a tale for you, but I'll tell you when you're older.
Oh yeah, that's
Like maybe 5 minutes
yeah.
older.
I was like, "I'll tell you when you're older, Kyle. About 5 minutes older."
Which is why we try to that's why we fill a month with spooky stuff. If it's not just talking about horror movies or we're talking about haunt stuff, because we've had people talk about acting in haunts, and we've talked about doing makeup in haunts, we've talked about doing production in haunts.
I'm all 3 of those,
and,
son.
Isn't it great? And so you could talk about what's going on, and there's so much. So if you have an indoor haunt, like you said you have.
Ours is indoor and outdoor.
Oh, okay.
And soul
hybrid.
sucking.
So it's you can't really do much with the floor of an indoor haunt because it has to stay the floor. Whereas
there are things you can do. We got these fun sliding floors. They're just these metal racks that are framed out. So when you step, it's like a fun house kind of
okay.
thing. So they slide every direction. Then we got those we got those weird soft pillowy floors.
So we occasionally dig holes in the woods and we put the mattress in it, and then we cover back up with dirt. So then they walk over a squishy mattress, but they don't know why it's squishy. Yeah. And then I wonder if other haunts do that or not.
Yes.
Okay.
The answer is yes. I can name 3.
Because we had Milta on 2 years ago.
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
And like Milta's one of our amazing actors, and she could do everything. And like her outside life is incredible, and also terrifying. And she uses like her haunt stuff as an escape, and just it's crazy. But like she has so many ideas and like how to scare people and techniques and tactics, and like nothing phases her because she's like made of stone somehow. And even then, like if she doesn't get a scare on someone, then like they try to scare her back, and then she starts talking to them and becomes their friend, and then she scares them. Because now she's like become their friend and lower their defenses, and like that's just one person.
She's in it for the long run.
And friend Will, who's now in California, just sent us a picture. His werewolf guy puts loosens up his laces on his boots and puts chains through his boots. So it's just like 3 or 4 like chain links like off of each boot. But now he jangles when he walks and makes chain sounds just by walking around. Like when you hear chains, where they're not supposed to be chains, is disturbing.
Why am I hearing chains?
And also like your hands are free, to do other stuff like scare people.
Yeah.
It's using all your limbs.
Yeah, every limb.
I actually scare people with a kazoo a lot of the time, which is my favorite thing to do because then I laugh at them because they got scared by a kazoo. And not only that, I'm 5'2" with a kazoo, and I just scared you. And I do that rhyme.
Nice.
At
Good
their
job,
face.
good job.
And then they're like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And then I genuinely creep them out because they're like, why is he rhyming?
You're like, look, between the two of us, who just got scared by a kazoo? That was you.
Make sure you hum and don't blow. It'll rip the wax paper.
Oh, no.
That's important.
I mean, well.
That's like crucial to the kazoo function.
Right. Yeah.
In fact, it's like the one thing you need to know.
I'm honestly I'm copping out. It's not actually a kazoo. It's a crow call, but everyone calls it a kazoo.
Oh.
So I kind of just like let
Just
that
go with
be a
it.
thing.
Yeah, it's easier this way.
Yeah, and it's more like shameful on their end. Like, yeah, bitch,
If they don't
you
know.
just got scared by a kazoo.
So one of the things that I realized this season,
Yeah.
actually recently when Ricky was up here too, is that a lot of haunts play games. Like we've got
Oh,
downtime.
yeah.
Like I thought we were like the only. Like we go through.
Oh, no,
we try
we
to
go
scare
hard,
each
dude.
other.
Oh yeah.
We had a downtime this season where we had glow stick fights because we're an outdoor haunt,
Yeah.
so you can throw those things pretty high.
Okay.
And all the rooms, there's no roofs over any of the
Right.
rooms, and you don't know which room that's coming down in. But so our favorite game is scaring each other. One of our main actors, Noah, who was on the show,
Right.
if you scare him, he buys you something like a cupcake or a cake
Ooh.
or a dinner or something like that. And so far, I think he's only bought like one person.
It's unheard of, almost.
It's unheard of. But I got Joe this year. I got Joe bad, and this is one that
This is build season.
This is build season. This is one that almost went too far. It was right on the edge of too far.
Okay.
It was too far.
It was too far.
Joe's uncomfortable right now.
Oh man, I'm getting sweaty palms just thinking about it.
So Joe was using a Sawzall to cut a wall panel. And if
Okay.
you don't know, a Sawzall is just a big saw. You could very easily hurt somebody with
What
it.
can it saw?
Oh.
Oh. Okay.
It's a 4-person answer. Right?
And so I'm standing on the other side of the wall, and somebody hands me a can of spray blood. They didn't. They were just like, "Hey, I
Lord.
found this. This was sitting over here. I'm just going to give this to you." And he's cutting the wall panel, and we're like, "Hey, stay away from this area." And right as he gets to the end of it, I just spray the saw and start with the blood on the other side of the wall from where he's cutting, so he can't see me. And I just start screaming. I've never seen anybody that white in my life.
Oh man,
That's fucked up, dude.
Joe, stop! You gotta stop! And he's got Jesse, his
Yeah.
makeup assistant's there with him, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And Kyle walks around. He goes, "Can you please just look at the blade, please, like really quick?" I pull it out, and there's just blood actually dripping. And I go, "Oh my god, wait, what?" And he goes, "Yep, that's my toe. I gotta go."
And so, but like part of this is that, we've been doing haunts so long. We've seen everything. We've been scared by everything.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I'm excited for Joe's retaliation. It's not just that I'm like giddy that I got to scare
Right,
him.
yeah.
It's that I want to be scared. Not much gets me, and I cannot wait for him to try and pull something.
It's going to happen.
I'm the
It's going to be
opposite.
big.
You're the opposite.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, like I'm also not big on pranks, So like if I wanted to get JR,
Yeah.
I could do it in an amazing fashion, and it would
Okay.
be fantastic.
Okay.
And he would
Just
hate
know
me
that.
for the rest of my life. However, he could get me back
Right.
in a real serious way,
Okay.
and I do not want to attempt that. It's
Well,
it's
but
not
you're-
it's not worth it.
But you're saying it's not that you don't like practical jokes. You have to pick and choose your battles
Yeah,
carefully.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know how I just mentioned Milta?
Yeah.
Never try and prank her. Her revenge is amazing.
I can imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
I've known Milta for a couple years, and yeah.
Yep. Her kids have tried and they regret it. Yeah.
But I did hear, Ricky, you were saying you guys had Nerf gun battles.
Yeah, so it's an annual thing that we do at Gateway's Haunted Playhouse, and it's mainly just the technicians that live there that do it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
There's some actors that get involved, but
But it has to be like the
they
right
gotta be
act.
like cool, you know.
We know who we are. Yeah.
So we'll schedule it like maybe about a week in advance, and it's like this big serious thing, like get your guns ready, kids. Nerf war,
Nice.
midnight,
Gotta go stretch those
Wednesday
springs.
night.
That's
so-
we've had lengthy talks about Nerf battles.
Oh yeah, we actually had it last night.
Oh,
Now it got real serious. it got very serious at some points. So basically, there's a lot that's off limits. Like we can't go outside and
Okay.
all this stuff. It's within a contained space in the haunt.
so it's fair. Yeah.
Fairly fair. And this is the thing about it that's not completely fair is there's a lot of areas inside of the haunt that like us technicians know about,
Right.
but like the actors have no clue exists. So if
Okay.
we're playing Manhunt,
Yeah.
they never
yeah.
find us. They never find
Yeah.
us. And
Catacombs of a haunt.
oh yeah, oh yeah. So like, there's such an advantage that we have as technicians.
I'm at like a really big like corporate place. I don't know. I say the name in case I say something wrong about it. But we corporately, like, we call them retention events. So it's our way of like, hey, stick around and keep working for us. You'll get a free fried dough or a ride on one of the rides. You know,
I still have my corporate chapstick.
you got chapstick.
I got chapstick
I
as an
didn't get
incentive.
I never got chapstick.
I got one of the acting award, the chips. I think they were doing at the time.
Oh, the red
That you
dots.
could- the red dots that you
Yeah.
could turn in for things.
Okay,
I
okay.
still have my corporate.
Oh
chapstick.
yeah. They had a big contest with Yankee Candle for that too. By the end of the year, everyone was getting candles because that was all that was left.
Chapstick was gone, huh?
I guess so. I'm not sure. I don't get to go down into the haunts because we have like 5 separate haunts, and then we have haunt zones. It's like places of the park, just like open area of the park between the stairs and this portal is like guests walk through and there's actors there. Then there's other areas where it's like you get your wristband or ticket to the pass and you walk through the thing and that's the attraction. So like each division is different, and I'm not sure if any of them have their own things, but they're also like strictly supposed to stay in their haunt zone in their scene too.
Well,
I do. I'm sorry.
oh no, I was just gonna say our Nerf war is like way after hours. Like it's definitely not during hours.
Oh, what's your gun? What's your nerf?
I was just gonna
weapon?
ask that. Preferred weapon of choice.
Well, I'm not a nerd, so I couldn't. It was whatever cool gun it was that I bought.
It's fucked up.
It was pretty sweet. It was like the detonator, zombinator.
The detonator?
You
I
gotta
don't
get you
know.
gotta get the judge.
It was like green.
Have you seen the
and-
judge?
No.
Google the judge.
Because that has like 50 darts it can shoot, right? Like,
It's
yeah.
enormous.
Yeah.
It's seriously like this big.
Yeah.
Like that's the
Yeah,
barrel.
well, mine's like this big.
Oh,
What's-
well, I don't.
Pretty big.
What was mine called? Was
one
it the slingshot? No.
The one that I got everyone.
Yeah.
The sling fire.
Sling fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just use the Recon. That was like 5 years ago, though. I don't know if they still make that.
Why'd you say that like you were seducing?
There-
Recon.
God.
You gotta get the Recon.
So right now I have my sling fire is mounted on my wall,
Mm-hmm.
and now I have a retaliator, which
What's the one that everybody turned into steampunk?
Maverick.
The
The
Yeah, I
Maverick,
have
yeah.
the Maverick
They're-
from before it was cool.
They're
right?
making
Before it
Maverick
was
2
cool.
now.
Are they
well,
really?
no,
Yeah.
well, there's the Maverick and there's the strong arm and there's the there's a new version of it too. There's even a Mega Dart version of it now.
Oh,
like they always have like the pistol, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like
You
the
don't have
revolver.
blow darts.
Yeah.
I was so hype about it. So I had no idea. And this guy Patrick, like, he was dressed up like Rambo. We got serious. I was dressed up like a cowboy. Like,
Oh, that's great.
It was this whole thing. And I'm walking, and I just like I see a dart just go ping right by me. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? So like I look and I see Rambo with a blow dart, and he just looks at me and like gives me this eye, and I just ran. Like,
That's the
like,
only
It
reaction.
was crazy, man.
I try and come up with games for my artists because I run the makeup room. So like I don't really get to know what the haunts do for each of their fun stuff. Like there's things here and there, like they bring in cupcakes for. If they're nice, they'll bring us a box sometimes. Ooh. But like in the past,
Just waiting for like the cupcakes to get thrown or something.
no, nothing that
Smoky
much.
cupcakes.
Yo, we'd have to clean that then. That's
Listen, I've been to your makeup rooms. You put tarp down. That doesn't get clean to the end. I know this.
I've gotten better at delegating. Yeah, so stuff gets clean now.
I
Sometimes.
spilled noodles and nobody noticed until
You didn't clean up your own noodles in my
hell
makeup
no.
room?
no.
You son of a bitch.
Kyle, your mama never told you to clean up your noodle? Huh?
This is how we get ants.
Do you want zombie ants? Do you want ants?
You want
This is how
ants on your noodle?
This is how we got ant zombies.
On your noodles.
In the past, we gave them like silly challenges. Like Kyle and I have done the blindfold makeup challenge,
Ooh,
yes.
I heard about this.
Yeah.
It sounds really funny.
where you need like 3 people or a fourth to film. Or like no, I had
And a
him.
fifth to laugh.
I had him wear a not GoPro. It's a knockoff GoPro thing.
It works.
So I had him wear that while they're blindfolded, so we could see what they would have been seeing while they're trying to do makeup on someone while blindfolded.
That is
And then
great.
then there was like another artist who would hand them stuff and be like, "This is airbrush with blue. Here's a popsicle stick with fresh scab, and here's a stencil in the shape of blah 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 blah." And then they'd have to try and blah blah blah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
It's a stencil. It's got a shape on it, and it's
Blah, blah, blah.
who knows?
Yeah.
Could be anything.
Okay.
And then and then like we'll edit together like what they made at the end. So we did it
That
with a few
sounds
people.
really fun.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
I kind of really want to do that.
And if you set it to funny music at the end, so because we also have an end of season party too. And so this season I'm making them do their own makeup with no mirror with airbrush.
Nice.
So like some of us have done it before and have tried it, but I know some of them haven't. But some of the girls who like do their own YouTube channel.
Oh, jeez.
This is my lipstick from Jeffree Star, and stuff like that. Yeah. So they do their own.
We all cringe.
Oh, that's why there was an office.
And so some of them are good at that, but some like it's my first one was pretty laughable. But that was like I was trying to demo what the face would look like for other people, which is at one of the zombie charges actually.
I remember because you were like, "Hey, you know what would be great? I'm thinking about doing this thing where we do the no mirror challenge."
Yeah.
And then you just did it.
Yeah.
Then you just went and started doing it. I'm like, Alex, what the hell? I'm not using a mirror. I'm like, oh, okay.
You're wearing makeup? Yeah, why not? We're gonna put on 40 people and not wear it myself.
You also
Silly.
did the 10-minute challenge a couple years ago, which is on
We have video of that.
on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/OMV podcast, I think. Kyle's in that video.
Yeah.
Damn, I
He
is. Alex is in that video as well.
Brett is in that video. April's in that video. Mandelin's in that video.
That was a neat video,
It was.
if we want to say video more.
Shout out to Bob who recorded it and
That
edited
Bob.
and Jared, the Bob and Jared team.
Yeah.
By the way,
That was a good
thanks for helping out with that tentacle
Oh, the tentacle was a lot of fun.
for the new tenant. The new
Yeah.
tenant video that was submitted to the Fantastic Film
Fantastic
Fest.
Fest.
I haven't asked what happened to it.
It's right next to us.
It's right next to us.
Yeah, you can't see it there. It's in the shed.
It's in the shadow.
The other
We're
side
all
of
looking
say.
at the corner of the room.
We keep pointing.
it would not fit in this room. It's on the other side of that wall right there.
Are you going to take my suggestion
What was that?
and use it to hand out?
So my door opens in. So the
mean,
front
you-
door,
You have to leave
I
it
could
open.
open the door and then like move it, or just
Leave it?
or just leave it in there. But
So
they'd
this
see
is
it
a
walking
giant
up.
tentacle that fits in a doorway,
Yeah.
and my suggestion is hand out candy by sticking a giant tentacle out of the giant tentacle,
Yeah.
and have it covered in slime and give candy out to the kids.
Yeah,
I just want that to happen so bad.
no kids
No,
come
I
to this
do
house
too.
for Halloween though.
They know better at this point, I guess.
Maybe. I mean, maybe
And the sidewalk's on the other side of the street.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
If I try to put out
Logistics,
some
am
more
I right?
decorations and lights and things, I also never decorate for Halloween because I'm weird. Do you guys
You're
like?
a little busy.
Do any of you like decorate your homes like where you live for Halloween stuff?
I do not.
Right.
You just carve a bunch of pumpkins.
Well, that was not my house.
I carved one pumpkin.
I took a Dremel to one and ruined someone's walls. So,
Classic.
my landlord decided to decorate this year,
Okay.
and she put up those nice like projector gobo things. with
Okay,
the,
right.
Yeah,
the
those are
spoopy
cool.
ghosts.
Yeah.
And a red light, a red Edison bulb in the main hallway.
That's the right district to live in.
That's you know,
Jesus.
Roxanne and all that.
I'm the worst,
Yeah.
and I have an inflatable. We have an inflatable that was left over from because we're not going to use an inflatable at the haunt.
Right.
It's just Santa with blood on it.
I mean, it was there. It was already done. Blood had already been spilled.
No matter how much you want to say it's a Sith marshmallow, it's just a Frosty. It's a Frosty snowman. Just admit it. It's okay.
Maybe.
You're like, no, I changed the hat. See, it's Stay Puft. Kyle loves the Ghostbusters.
I love the Ghostbusters so much.
It's okay. We can all love stuff. It's fine.
What? What?
Oh,
I love it.
Any home decor, Ricky?
I actually live at the haunted house, so
You serious?
so I have a haunted house as a decoration.
That's pretty
Ricky
awesome.
wins.
So that makes it kind of easy to not have to decorate it.
I have decorative towels, and my wife and I bought little $3 pumpkins at Target, and they have a little LED in them, and you can flip them on, and they glow.
Yo, he's
we
on
also-
that next level pumpkin.
Right, get at me. And we also have we carved some pumpkins this year, which was a lot of fun because pumpkin seeds are delicious.
They are.
God, they're delicious.
I want to tell a story about my friend Amber real quick. It's a very quick and a very short story that's probably not going to be funny to any of you, but it cracks me up so much.
Good.
So I went to Target with my friend Amber and Dave, and she grabbed these like cutesy pumpkin decorations, and Dave goes, "Oh, what are you getting those for?" And she just looks at him and goes, "Pumpkins." Like,
Obviously.
that's it. And I just had to share that because it was, for some reason it's the funniest thing that I've ever heard, and I couldn't stop laughing. I was crying, like I was straight up crying. Oh, what are those for? Pumpkins. Like,
I mean-
it's just so funny.
Is this like a Charlie Kelly story?
Yeah.
What's your hobby? Rocks.
It rocks. So for those of you that don't actually know me as a person, I am Charlie Kelly. And that's all you gotta know about me.
Well, there you go. It all makes sense.
I realized I haven't bought a pumpkin in my adult life. Because like
Yeah.
my parents always bought the pumpkins, and then I would carve those, and then that was it. And then I moved on and would do other things, and would do haunts and everything. And then I was like, I need to carve a pumpkin.
When?
How?
When?
Where?
Right?
Do I? How buy pumpkin?
I had
How buy?
How
a
does
very-
pizza happen? That's a share quote, actually.
I had a very shocking. So this is what adult life is like, and it wasn't putting a roof on my house 2 days ago, which I did. Actually, I did not. I just paid people to do it. That was
Proud of
fun, right? So I wanted to. I hadn't gone pumpkin picking since like high school,
Yeah.
probably. Like I can't remember last time I carved a pumpkin like with my family or whatever, because we used to always go to Brown's Harvest in Windsor, Connecticut. That's where we always went. And like I decided, I was like, I want to go get pumpkins this year. So I told my wife, let's go get pumpkins, and we messaged my sister, and went with my sister and her boyfriend, and like I was so excited. We're gonna do the hayride out to the back end where they have the pumpkins out there. It's shitty, it's whatever, but it's a hayride. I want to ride in the back of the tractor in the hayride, and you go out and you pick a pumpkin and you bring it back and you buy your pumpkin. Maybe get some donuts.
Nice crisp 80-degree seasonal weather for us here, and
Yeah, but like
everyone's
so
shaking their head.
so like we get there. And like we walk up, I'm like, yo, we're doing hayride. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Walk up, get in line. Oh, hayride's $8 a person. And then we start to think about it. So let's take a look at the pumpkins that are up here instead of the ones that are back there. And I'm thinking about, okay, well, you know what? Let's go. I want to do the hayride. And then we get in line and I start thinking like, wait, $8 per person. and I'm
It's
probably
almost
I'm gonna pay for
$40.
my sister and her boyfriend. I have to get her new roof next week. Fuck the hayride. We don't need the but like as a child, I went in assuming the hayride is part of the like that's free. I'm about to buy your pumpkin. Give me a hayride.
Maybe it was at the time. Who knows?
Probably, right?
Yeah.
Like it's amazing the things that I just assumed happened out of magic and whimsy, but they didn't. They didn't. And then although the pumpkin, I got a good pump for like
Some solid
for like
cans.
for, it was a good kin. I got it for like $7. I was like, and I got some apple cider donuts, and it was delicious.
Mine was $8.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this the right price for a pumpkin?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, so adulting,
Yeah.
Halloween.
Right.
I want to call BS on something.
What's up?
Pumpkins.
No. The trunk or treat.
Pumpkins.
I
Trunk
get it.
or treat?
Trunk or treat.
I
I
don't
get
get
it.
Do you know
I
what trunk or
get
treat?
it.
No, I do
No?
not.
I hate it.
What are you
Trunk
talking
or
about?
treat, like a car trunk.
Oh, you neither of you know?
Yes.
So okay. Do you want to?
You go by Alex by all means.
Somebody tell me.
So it's unsafe for kids to walk through the neighborhood now and go to people's doors because don't disturb Old Man Smithers because he'll
He'll kill you.
shoot at you or
Shoot
or kidnap
razor
you.
blades
yeah,
and the
yep,
like.
Yep. So the families go to parking lot X, Y, or Z
Mostly Walmart.
because either grocery stores have it
This
or
sounds
schools
a lot
have
less
it,
Sketchy.
and in the cars like they pull into a parking spot, they open up the trunk. And now the kids go to each car trunk and trick or treat there instead of going to their
Because
houses.
free candy out of cars is acceptable now.
Well, they're all families with other kids usually.
Well, keep
So-
in mind, there's two things I want to add on. One, they now decorate the cars.
Yep,
so
they're
it's
decorated.
a contest for which car is decorated the best. And now haunted houses are decorating their cars and bringing them as advertising. But
Burning Man.
but these don't take place even at night. These
no,
are like
yeah.
at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
What, they're
Well,
still in
it's time
school
to
at that
snatch a
point.
kid.
Cool, are they not?
No, they'll still do it on a weekend.
We can edit
But they'll
that
do
out.
So
it
you're
like
not even trunk or treating on Halloween.
not even close. You're talking like, the Saturday before Halloween at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll meet up in this parking lot and we'll just give
It's
you
also
candy
double
out of our
coupon
trunk.
day, so go inside the grocery store and get your milk.
Big Y's
It's
got
a
rotisserie
conspiracy.
chickens.
It's nonsense. And I'm going to rage against this
So
until...
if you have like a big old van with a large hatchback, you've got the most space to decorate now.
Right.
Whereas
Or-
unless you got like some old like boat Cadillac or whatever,
Just
you
like
know.
a large van without windows and spray paint free candy on it. That's
That's pretty spooky.
Maybe I'm in the minority
Put some
here.
puppies in there too.
Yeah.
oh,
maybe-
absolutely.
Maybe I just didn't. Maybe I had a different childhood, but I always went trick or treating like with my brother, my sister, and my parents.
No, that's when you were a child. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is a now thing.
Yeah, like
Trunk or treat's a now thing.
do kids not go trick or treating with their parents anymore? Do they just go by themselves?
Oh well, whenever I have Halloween off from haunt, I will bring my niece trick or treating.
right.
Because I'm into it, and
Yeah,
parents don't
my
mind
parents
staying
waited
home
by
for
the waited by the
Thank
street,
you.
Yeah.
and I went up to the door with my brother and my sister, and give me your fucking candy, and then I'm gonna walk away, and I'm never gonna see
And if you
again.
don't,
Yeah, and if you don't,
I'll
I'm gonna
pull
tell
down your
all the
underwear.
kids, and we all hate you.
My sister's birthday
Yeah.
is November 1st.
Okay.
Because my mother refused to not go trick-or-treating with me. She literally was like, the C-section schedule? No.
No, it's
Next
not.
day. The doctor's like, I'm not in that day. He's like, oh, well,
You are?
that's what's happening. Sorry. And her birthday is November 1st. Trick-or-treating. That's how important this is.
Kyle's getting really fierce.
Kyle's mom is having
red in the
contractions.
face now. He's starting to
He is.
sweat.
Kyle's mom is having contractions on October 30th. And she's like, no, I can't not
More
trick or
than
treat.
this devil child.
Classic.
Hey, that's my line.
last time, I think it was last year, John was on with us, and he was regaling us with he studies a lot. He does a lot of research and looks into things, and there has never been any recorded case of poisoned candy or molested candy or candy with stuff in it. The one case was a father who like poisoned his own kids. So it's not like the kids went trick or treating. He like intentionally like messed with their pixie sticks kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing
And so
about
it's like that doesn't count as like, razor blades and the Snickers or apples or anything like that. Or
It's that leftist propaganda. Am I right, fellas?
that dad wanted some sweet insurance money.
Pumpkins.
So I did a little bit of research.
Okay.
I did a little bit.
All right.
Not for this, but just in general. I wanted to know where
Yeah.
Trunk or Treat came from. 'Cause
Right.
I've been raging. I'm like, where?
Okay.
It was the Blizzard.
Yeah.
It was the Blizzard that we had a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And Halloween was essentially canceled, and they said, "Nope, we're not doing that." And everyone took their candy, and they got the cars, and they said, "We're going to dress up, and we're going to do this."
All right.
But it became this. Oh well, now we have to do it because we're safe. We're not going to go around the neighborhood. We're not going to be, and we're not going to let our kids out because there's vandals, and not all kids are good, and all this, and that's nonsense. We live in a world where other people, and you have to get along. Go back to the old ways.
Just do the which movie is that? Which movie's what's the Adam Sandler where he like adopts a kid out of nowhere?
Oh.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Yeah.
And he knocks on the door.
Oh.
Come on, it's Halloween.
Give him your watch too.
Oh, he got some cereal. What else he got? See, we should do that to all the houses.
I agree.
I'd be ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
There would be a tentacle in the door hand passing that thing though, but...
Maybe we could just maybe we need to reverse trick or treat and like go find kids and throw candy at them. See, this is where it gets starts to get
That's the wrong.
I
We're
love
gonna
this.
walk around with a tentacle that's covered in slime.
Wow.
The slime is completely PG, I promise.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're gonna huck candy at kids. What's wrong with that?
Right.
We're gonna bring back the old ways. Make sure kids know it's safe by chasing them with tentacles.
And
think-
just beating, like bruising them with Snickers off the head.
I think we can all agree that Halloween is not the time to make a political stance against no, I'm completely changing the subject, but like against kids being healthy. Nobody gives a shit if you think kids
No.
don't give raisins, you piece of
No.
shit.
Yeah, no.
Nobody
I'm not
wants
even
your
a fan of
apple.
the
Literally
popcorn
everyone
ball.
hates you. No
That's the
child is
worst.
going, "Oh, I can't wait to go to that house and get my apple this year."
When I was a kid trick or treating, I heard tales that there was one house on a street that gave out full size candy bars,
Oh yeah.
but also a toothbrush because it was a dentist.
I've
See-
gotten the toothbrush.
The
Yeah.
toothbrush is
Gotten the
fine
toothbrush
if you include it with a sweet full size.
yeah.
But like the person who gives out boxes of raisins, I don't give a shit about your feelings.
Are they
Give
cheaper
me
than
candy.
Are they cheaper than regular candy?
I don't even know.
All right. What age? What grade did you stop trick or treating?
I remember the exact year I stopped trick or treating.
When I started working.
Yeah. Me and my friends went out, and we were out like too late, and my mom was not happy. Got grounded for that one. Never went trick or treating again because I was too fucking old. I'm swearing a lot. It's OMV After Dark now. I was too old to be doing it that year. I should have stopped probably a year or two before that. So, but me and my friends were like, "Oh, we're in middle school. Let's be funny and go trick or treating."
Did you at least have costumes? God damn it!
No, we did not.
You didn't even what?
Yep.
So
You're out
so
of control.
so
I know.
seventh grade.
Terrible kids.
I remember this distinctly. We laid out a plan.
Yeah,
We did do costumes,
right.
but we chose beginning of the night we're gonna hit the big houses,
Yeah,
the rich people, because they got the full size candy.
Got to get there while it's
and
good.
then end of the night,
yeah.
we're gonna hit the apartments.
Okay.
Because they're very close together, each other.
Right.
But they're giving out like lollipops and Tootsie Rolls.
'Cause they're-
So we're gonna get the mix of them, right? So we got like the big pieces to hold us over.
Don't worry about it. No, I'm making fun of Ricky.
I almost had a
Do
comment,
better.
but I'm not gonna say.
You
it.
almost had a comment.
Yeah.
That's all I got. That was it. I was just.
I would still trick or treat now, but now I'm the adult to my niece, so I go trick or treating with her. So I'm like the adult that waits by the street, and I still dress up for it. My first year from my haunt that I had off for Halloween, I went to visit my grandma in Nyack, West Nyack, New York, and I passed out candy for her, so she wouldn't have to get up and go to the door.
Oh, that's nice.
And some snotty teenage kid at my grandma's door without a costume. And there's like a group of 3, and like 2 have costumes, 1 doesn't. And I'm like, what are you supposed to be? And he's like, oh, I'm a clown. And I'm like, what? He's like, well, the wig got itchy, so I took it off. And like, I wasn't going to give him anything. And I go, what's your clown name? And he's like, Bozo. And I'm like, all right, here you go.
Since Halloween's a Tuesday this year, I was all set. We're not doing the haunt.
Taco?
In between.
Oh, right. Sorry.
What's that?
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
It's Taco Tuesday. I was all excited. I'm like, I'm gonna get to hand out candy this year. It's the first year like ever.
Uh-huh.
I'm booked for a Halloween wedding.
Of course.
Of course, middle of everything.
My makeup girls that work with me in the makeup room, it's me and Brett and then all girls. There's 2 fill-ins that are guys that help out, but they're not like regular full-time artists. They're all like looking to book gigs and everything, and I'm so done by that point. Like, I don't want any more work. I just want to sit home, like play video games or something.
Yeah.
We're not done. We're doing an after event which can actually tie into something we were talking about in pre-show.
Kyle's looking at me real weird
I
right
am.
now.
We're doing an event, a tie-in event with something you were talking about earlier. Tie-in event. It's called Afraid Not. And I ruined it.
You know, I got a joke about something similar to that.
God damn it.
All right,
We couldn't.
everyone.
Get it?
All right, everyone, chill the fuck out for a second. Sit back, taking a deep breath, because you about to get a whole lot of laughter up in here.
Oh yeah.
So a string walks into a bar, goes up to the bartender, looks him in the eye and goes, "Hey, bartender. Kyle, I'm going to need you to shut the fuck up.
That's a
Hey,
good
bartender,
Who's Kyle?
get me a Bud Light." Bartender looks at the string and goes, "We don't serve your kind around here." The string looks dismayed, sighs, and he walks outside. Kind of scuffs himself up a little bit, ties himself up real good. There's a lot happening right now. So the string walks back into the bar, looks at the bartender and goes, "Hey, bartender, give me a Bud Light." Bartender looks at him funny and goes, "Hey, aren't you the same string that walked in here a minute ago?" The string takes one look at him and goes, "I'm afraid not."
Haunted attraction.
Oh, afraid not. Afraid not. 2017.
Wah, wah.
I like
So-
that one.
So we're doing an after event at our haunt.
This is
This is the Scream CT haunted attraction in North Haven, Connecticut. And a couple years ago, we did an event where we basically turned out all the lights.
right.
It got real dark, got real spooky, and we were allowing our actors to touch the customers.
Uh-huh.
This is a special event. You can either do a green glow stick if you want to go real light, or a red glow stick. We're allowed to do whatever we want.
Okay.
And so we're bringing it back, except this year we're calling it Afraid Not. It's
Right.
a pun. We literally have people saying they want to come because of the pun.
Is
And we're
this
gonna
for like
hand
the
you a
group
rope.
holder? Okay.
We're going to hand you a rope,
Right.
and you're going to follow the rope. Whatever
Okay.
happens to you along the way,
Yeah.
that's what happens.
Okay.
And so a bunch of people had never heard that joke, and so we keep like somebody threw out the name. We were having a brainstorming session. We were
Okay.
like, "Oh, should we call it Panic Attack?" And we're like, "No, it's insensitive." Should we call it this? No, it's a stupid name.
You got to be careful with insensitive stuff,
Oh yeah.
because then you'll get the letters and you'll get.
Oh yeah.
You'll get bad reviews before you even open because people are mad at the
This
name.
has been a really sensitive year for people. Between there's a bunch of billboards that have had to come down because people were complaining. A bunch of reviewers have just said, like things that have been in haunted houses for since
Millennia.
Do you guys have any like simulated mock like gun events or startles in your haunt, or did you before
We
Las
had
Vegas?
one a couple years ago.
It was 2 years ago,
2 years ago.
and decided pretty quickly that's probably a no-go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were people who were afraid of it, and more people were upset by it than afraid of it. Wasn't our decision, put it that way.
Yeah, no.
We thought it was a bad idea from the beginning, and it turned out to be right.
Remember
Right.
that production meeting very well. It was
Yeah.
actually a very heated conversation about whether or not it's okay to do that. And personally, I don't think it is.
Now there's a line here,
Yeah.
because on the one hand, the ones that we were getting complaints about were where guns were pointed, simulated guns were pointed at customers. On the other hand, one of the products that we sell is a fake machine gun.
Right.
And it's very, very loud. It's as loud as a real machine gun. And we have attractions that use it that will shoot it from like a parapet, like a
Just a perch.
perch,
Yeah.
like at a zombie
Catwalk
attraction.
or something like
Yeah,
that,
like to simulate like what they were doing in The Walking
Like
Dead.
from up on the wall.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And they're shooting it like, hey, run, get in the attraction.
Oh, no, they're behind you.
There's a horde behind you, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah,
people get
that's cool.
scared
That's
by the
absolutely
machine gun
cool.
going on.
Or
Because
maybe
now
even-
it's
even-
atmosphere. It's not like a scare tactic.
Like
Exactly.
actor to actor is fine too within a scene.
Right.
I feel that's okay. But the minute you point it at a customer or a patron who's trying to have a good time, you don't know that person.
Yeah.
You don't know their history or anything like that. And I think that could bring up.
I can.
much. There's things you don't touch on.
Was there the argument of well, if we cave to taking this down, then what else do we have to take down?
That didn't come up.
That didn't even come down.
Like
during the
I'm
season.
not advocating for that being an argument, but like these things people will.
It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Well, you're always going to offend someone.
Right.
There's not.
Someone
Always.
always wants to be offended. There's always that one person.
We're all on Facebook. We see it. But,
You know, my uncle was a mutant radiation infected asylum escape patient who was
Yeah.
stitched back together from.
so you don't know my
from-
life.
This was very insensitive to my uncle, who
Mutant.
who was a zombie returned from the dead. It's,
Right.
A couple years ago, there was
Guy.
a big stink in the haunt industry when PETA went after a haunt that had a dog fighting scene.
oh,
And that was like absolutely no, it was too close. They were making fun. Obviously, they actually donated to PETA for
Okay.
the haunt and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And animal
well, there's a
rights.
better organization you could donate to.
But I went through a haunt this year in the one free day we had to go through a haunt.
Yeah.
That had a room full of dead cats.
Oof.
Just the
We
entire
have a
thing.
dead cat room
You
in
have a
our
dead cat
haunt.
room?
Yeah, well, we had
the
one
thing this
last
year, it's
year.
really in.
No, it was last year. We had a dead cat room.
And I was all about that.
It's pretty crazy.
Is there like
man.
a pun for it or anything, or is it?
What
just-
was that?
Is there like a weird pun for it, or is it? Just
No,
basically-
our
it's just
director
dead cats.
Michael Baker just really wanted a room full of dead cats with a crazy cat lady.
Of course. Yep. Okay.
And it smelled like straight cat piss in there, and the crazy cat lady, by proxy, smelled like straight cat piss because of the scent cups in there. So she'd come out and like she's like this adorable human, but like obviously in makeup, not at all, especially smelling like cat piss. So she'd come out and she'd come down to the party room and she was completely unaware that she smelled like cat piss because like
Oh.
she'd been in that room for
Yeah,
so long.
yeah.
This was like first night. So she comes downstairs and like she doesn't know a lot of the new people. So
Yeah.
like I knew her and a lot of other people knew her. She came down, she sat next to me, and I just like looked at her. I was like, "Girl, you gotta go." And she's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "You smell like cat piss right now." And she looked shocked, like, and she also had this cat eye makeup on still, so like she looked double shocked. It was like a virus status. Like, you gotta go change. You gotta go take yourself a nice fucking shower. That's the nasty thing with the scent cups. I don't know if you guys use the scent cups at all
Use
in
them
your
1 year.
haunts.
Ours this year aren't as strong as they have been in the past.
Oh man!
But like the first year we got them, they were giving our kids headaches.
can we
hate
talk
'em.
about?
I can't stand them either.
I want to talk about something real
I like
quick.
well.
I wanna-
There's houses where like you might not know if it's a scent cup or actual mold in the house or not.
Or an actor. Now there's a little something called the haunt funk,
Oh, the haunt.
Oh yeah,
funk.
yeah.
and I'm not obviously not going to name names or anything.
I'm
but,
sitting right here.
Kyle. So
Just doesn't
we had
count.
this one room in the haunted house, and we had a very unfortunate actor in that room. So one of my friends used to have to like give him like bathroom breaks and whatnot. So she came up to me and she goes, "What is the scent cup that's in that room?" She goes, "It smells like pepperoni buttholes." And I looked at her, I'm like, "There's no scent cup in that room," and it was indeed that one actor, and I just do not understand to this day. That room still smells.
Like pepperoni butthole.
It still smells like pepperoni buttholes, y'all.
So
I didn't think it was going to get that bad. I thought it was going to be like, well, if it's Friday through Sunday and an actor wears the same costume Friday through Sunday and it doesn't get washed until Monday morning
Yeah,
or
no,
something.
this guy was a pepperoni butthole.
Oof.
so we're an outdoor attraction.
Yeah.
It's now Monday.
Yeah.
It's supposed to rain Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday. And we open up again Friday.
Right.
So last night meant we stay late to make sure everything's weatherproof, everything's put away, all that kind of stuff. And right there in the middle of a scene, an actor left his own full costume.
Just in a scene.
Just in the scene.
One he brought.
One he
Great.
brought that he made himself.
Yep.
that
Oh,
he's
is he
been
just going
wearing
to
for
come back
2
on
years
Friday and
now.
put it on?
Sure. He can ring it out first.
Wow.
I hazard to guess this is not the first time that's been left out in the rain.
Yeah, no. It seems if you're cared free about something like that.
That's
it
one of the
wouldn't
ones
be first.
I just when I go through that room, he's in the corner, I walk through the other corner.
Savage.
Take care of your costumes and your props, kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Was that your prop today? Remember that? Anyways,
We're probably over by now.
we're a little, but hey, I figure we owe it.
Yeah.
We're not going to address it, though.
No,
But where can people go to find your stuff for the next couple weeks? Weeks?
Next couple weeks.
If you want to check out Gateway's Haunted Playhouse, it's in Bellport, New York. I run the makeup department for it. I'm also an actor in it. So you might get spooked by me if you come through. So come on through and I'll spook you real good. If you want to check out some of my work, you could check me out at VitusFX, letters fx.com.
He's going to spook
And,
you real good.
I'm going to spook you real good on that site, too. And you could add me on Instagram as well at VitusSFX. And Snapchat, same name. Do it up.
Nice.
Cool. So we've got the next 2 weeks, right?
We're open this week. So the Scream Haunted attraction in North Haven, Connecticut is open this week. This is our final weekend. We're open Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 7 p.m. And then after that, we have our after-season event. 1 day only on Saturday starting at 7, and that's Afraid Not. That is all bets are off. That's a full touch haunt. There are things in there. We can't talk about most of them. And then for Joe and I, you can always check out Decimated Designs throughout the rest of the year. We're going to be doing some interesting stuff coming in the next year. Decimated Designs, DecimatedDesigns.com, and Get Decimated on all the social media stuff.
Boom.
Wordage and adage.
Go and go to all those things and get scared and maybe even get touched on one of them.
Definitely get touched.
In many ways than one.
And exactly.
Many
Some
ways.
heavy
Like
touching.
emotionally touched.
Also, I don't know if you guys offer this. Starting this year, we've been offering a free second ticket to anybody that pees themselves.
We have code yellows and code browns.
Signal 40.
Said
Yeah.
40,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Everybody's got it.
Yep. Yep.
Signal 40 is
Radio speak.
it's means like any kind of biospill,
Yep.
which could be blood or pee or
Puke.
or puke. But we've heard of other parks that have code rainbow, and specifically rainbow is puke. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had that a few times. It's always a fun.
I had a girl lose her panties once. That was
Just
you
the
know,
once?
We we asked ourselves that question many times. I scared her and I saw something fall. And it didn't
Scare
really
you right out
didn't
your
really
parents.
yeah, I did. I really did. I'll tell you what. So didn't really pay attention. And I was like, oh, I kind of forgot about it. And I got down off my block because I was up on a block. And I was it's like, oh, what's this? I went and picked it up and I was like, oh, God. Not what I wanted.
Were they big panties? Little panties?
They were like average panties. You know?
Well, parachutes or anything like that.
I'm surprised we don't find more shoes.
Oh,
Like
we've
flip-
We
flip-flops
actually
and
we found one singular Converse the other day.
just left behind.
Yep. I always wonder about that, and this, kind of ties into what we're talking about. But when you see one single shoe on the side of a road, what happened?
Yeah.
Right? I
Where's this
seriously
other
think
shoe?
about
What
that. Like,
happened?
I'm like, what caused this?
Yeah.
Were you
It-
hanging your feet?
It fell off
someone
the
just
wires on the
walking
telephone
I was
pole.
around?
going to say there's something daunting about sneakers on a telephone pole. Or,
That's where people. And growing up, that's where drug deals happen.
Yeah.
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 That was always the rumor. Was
Yeah.
that real?
Yeah. I have no
Is that real?
idea.
We had one part in the haunt,
Yeah.
which was a fireplace that you had to duck down in.
Right.
Ow.
You remember that? Do you remember this?
I might.
1 year, so we're talking about shoes, talking about things that people lost. We found a tampon
Oh, yeah.
in an area we had to duck down.
Oh man.
So, like, when
Nice.
guys, be nice to your haunt actors.
Yeah.
Like, I literally just went on a rant. We started publishing advertisements for this Afraid Not, and somebody wrote, so when I throw elbows, we cool.
nah.
And I'm like, no, the police will be called. We're not. If you go into Burger King and say, I'm gonna shoot everybody who puts a pickle on my burger, you will be asked to leave immediately.
Yep.
I'm giving you an out, and this ended up being like a flame war of them going, yo, but you shouldn't have told my friend that you were gonna call the police. Well, you shouldn't threaten to hit people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
I wear a cup now when I act. I don't know about. It's just
I don't.
happened too much.
I
You
don't.
you don't.
Responsible
You were
right
also
there.
up on a boat.
Yep.
You had some protection last night.
Yes,
I
the
like
whole boat.
I like to get nice and close.
Get in there,
Well,
Nas.
there's you got to respect your limits though,
Right.
and be aware of boundaries. Like me and Brett have had this talk a lot because Brett and I are in the makeup room, and we also have done a lot of acting. Whereas other people who are in the makeup room this year like haven't done much acting yet, and they don't know like everything that can happen and go wrong and what
You
people
mean
are like.
anything?
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh wait, you mean like so people come in just to be mean and rude and hit you?"
Oh, absolutely.
And we go, "Yeah," and they go, "Why?"
Because they're drunk and disorderly.
And I'm like,
or
because
something.
people suck.
Yeah.
And then someone else
You're
will go, well, not everyone's. Some people are okay. It's,
Try having a haunted house in Long Island.
Ooh.
I could imagine.
Juicy.
That's special. It's very special. And they get so mad when you spook them. They get so defensive about it.
Because if you
The kids are the worst, though. The kids are scarier than the adults.
if one of the girls scares a guy, then he gets emasculated,
Right.
and he
Yep.
feels he
Right.
has to fight back now,
Yep.
and he has to prove how tough he is. And
I'm
it's
not
like,
scared.
just hey, this is what you spent money on.
Yeah.
Right,
Just
you paid
enjoy
to
it.
be here.
This is part
You
of the show.
did.
Right.
Just be okay with it.
Like, you just spent $30 to walk through and act like a dick bag. There you go. Good job, buddy.
Congratulations.
I mean,
Thanks for
unfortunately,
your money.
like I don't. Hopefully, none of those dick bags are listening to our show.
That's fine.
so
They can. Maybe they'll learn a thing or two.
we're-
Get some learning in there soon.
Well, like you said, what was it? Noah will buy a prize for any of the other actors who gets to scare him. And like if I get scared by one of my actors when I'm doing a walkthrough, I make sure like I tell the supervisor, I'm like, yo, the girl who was in the ballroom who like had a second scare through one of the closets in the trunk room, like got me pretty good. Like not the bit like. I'm gonna downplay how much she got me, but she got me pretty good. You know, so like throw her a raffle ticket or whatever we have for the season.
Right.
Anyway,
Be good to your actors.
Be good
Yeah,
to your actors.
yeah.
Be good to everybody.
If you're going through a haunted house, expect to be scared and don't be a dick. I mean, we go through this every year, but like, if you're going, you can't get mad if you get scared. If you voluntarily either paid or like knew you were going through a fucking haunted house.
And actors, don't be offended when you don't scare someone.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
important.
You didn't get
Yes,
it.
very
You
much
Next
didn't
so.
do
one.
it. It's great.
Yep.
Make them laugh. Do something.
Yeah,
You're there to
exactly.
entertain.
Or walk
but-
away.
Or walk
Yeah.
away.
Don't get desperate.
Go on to the next one.
Oh,
Because
don't
that's
yeah?
just sad.
Desperation.
don't harass
That
your
is
guests.
sad. Why are you winking at me?
Because you're beautiful.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, thanks.
All right, we got to finish up here.
it's gonna get
Gents,
real after dark.
You got where there's a lot of snuggling going on here. It's a small room with 5 dudes. Ooh, thigh check. Guys, thanks you all. Can't even talk anymore.
Thanking you.
Thank you all for coming on. This is a lot of fun. I like talking about spooky shit with people.
Yeah.
You guys.
Oh, best friend. Best friend.
You guys all. That's about all I got. I'm about talked
Yeah, I'm
out.
good.
I'm
Yeah.
good. All right. That's cool. All right, so that's gonna do it for this week. Until next time, I have been JR,
I'm Alex.
I'm Ricky.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Joe.
and this has been
my
the
name, Jeff.
most people we've had in this room, and along with episode 292 of Opinions May Vary.
All right.
Wow. I saw a thing the other day. It was like Owen Wilson's Wows.
Oh wow.
And then, but like it was Rage Against the Machine, like Killing in the Name of, but instead of the wah pedal, it was wow.
Wow.
It was awesome.
Go look it up right now.
Yeah, just go Google it. Okay, bye.